Don't take emotions at face value. Most of the emotions that you experience from other people are simply masks. Yeah. And they are usually hiding behind that emotion. Let's take hate, right? For example, about 20 years ago, when I was a young university student back in Poland, a very rare incident happened. I was riding the tram back from town, and I was with my friend. She's also mixed race, and we're just chit-chatting. These three men came into the tram, and they were visibly a bit intoxicated. In Poland, we go like this, like they're a bit maybe drunk. And we just pretended not to even notice them. They approached us, they cornered us, and trying to talk to us. We pretended we didn't speak Polish. The whole way we ignored them. Our stop came, and I was stepping off the tram, and one of the men elbowed me, literally. And he shouted, "Go back to your country. Wracaj do swojego kraju," in Polish. And I could just see the anger and the hate in his eyes. Gosh, that moment, I'm like, what am I doing here? Mama, why? Mama. I just questioned my whole identity, and I was like, oh God, like why? Why am I half Polish? It was really painful back then. Of course, I'm looking at that through the lens of a 21, 22-year-old girl that just came from Ghana and, trying to explore her other side. 2 decades later, now almost 43 years old, I see things differently. I understand that emotion that I experienced from that man was just the surface, right? What was underneath that hate or that anger was pain. A pain in disguise. It was a fear, some form of unhealed wounds playing out in disguise, right? I understand now that people usually express these extreme emotions such as jealousy, hate, resentment as a form of self-protection. Yeah. It's a way of, avoiding a deeper part of themselves, or a part of themselves that they're unwilling or unable even to face, or even unaware of. When you understand emotions from that perspective, you understand that somebody who is giving you all that negativity is such a sad person within themselves. If you carry hate, jealousy, or any deep resentment towards any other human being, you're literally blocking your own healing. And yeah, it does take courage to pause and reflect and transcend and be more introspective and ask yourself some tough questions like, why do I feel this anger towards this person? Or why do I feel this resentment towards this group of people? What is really going on? What is it really covering? What am I scared of? Like, what is beneath that? And the thing is, what you find may be a deep unmet need, a buried shame, guilt, a fear of not being seen or not being loved. It could be also a story or a narrative that, you've been told or you're telling yourself. Because here's the thing, no one is born hateful. Babies are just born so innocent. There's no hate within the spirit of a baby. So when you feel these emotions that are quite negative and toxic and make you feel resentful towards another group of people, another person, you can reclaim that power back, right? And no longer kind of project that pain. Now ask yourself this very important question. If you are experiencing this jealousy, this resentment towards somebody else, what would happen if I released this pain or this anger? What version of myself will unfold? Right? That I think needs protection. How differently will I approach this person or treat this person? And from that space, you can really finally begin to rise beyond that negativity. Let the wound become the wisdom, and that pain become your power. Because at the end of the day, right, you turn dust into gold dust. I had to sprinkle some gold dust in there. Anyways, whenever you're experiencing emotions from somebody else towards you, remember that is a mask. Underneath that, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of jealousy, resentment, a lot of unmet needs, lack of love that they've not experienced themselves. So approach it with compassion and empathy, and don't take it personally, and don't vibrate on that same frequency. Be the wiser one, and don't react, but respond. There's so much more to this topic. Would love to know, have you ever experienced hate towards you? How did you feel about it? Could that hate or the resentment that you experienced be a disguise of an underlying fear or guilt or shame that person could be experiencing? Something to explore. We don't have all the answers, but let's have that conversation.